I got a request for something off my solo record, There I Said It. This fella, blanking on his name, but he told me whenever he hears that song, it just kind of gets him through the day. I worked in the political science department at Vanderbilt University as an office assistant for 7 of the worst years of my life. And, very nice, continue. The administrative assistant over me hated my guts on sight. Let's just say that she had crawled her way up to the social ladder position of being an administrative assistant in an office in Vanderbilt, where I had fallen far to where I was. There was a complete disconnect. I couldn't make a move without offending this woman, and she would tell me right in front of everybody in the office, "That offends me when you do that kind of." Walking on eggs, getting totally alcoholic, eating Xanax like Pez, throwing up on the way to work. You think this is comedy material? This really fucking happened every day. And I took my lunch behind the, oh, it's Freebird now, very nice. My lunch break, I stood behind Calhoun Hall on Vanderbilt's campus, and my lunch was 5 cigarettes and a can of Diet Coke every day. I called it my caffeine tobacco wrap. I thought Wendy's ought to sell it. And I was washed up. I hadn't had a record out in years. I was working for a living. I was totally done. I was a drug casualty, clinical depression, anything, go through the doctor's list they give you when you check in. Check everything off. That's where I was. And I started writing the songs on my lunch break. And I never wrote them down because I was never going to make a record again. This notion of being in a sold-out place in Columbus all these years later was not a possibility then. So I was writing these songs on lunch break with my cigs and my Diet Coke. I wrote about a verse at a time of this next song. And 7, 8 years later, I still haven't written it down. It's called I Want a Cigarette. Yeah! Yeah! Thinking I was the victim of some kind of family curse. So I went outside for a cigarette so I could feel a little worse. And then I went back inside and checked in with the nurse. Sat down in the waiting room and scribbled down this verse. Life is complicated, it's wearing my ass out. Seems like I spend half my time wondering what the hell somebody's talking about. And they always think I'll understand them better if they shout. Sometimes I just don't believe how much there is out there to doubt. It used to be so simple when I was 6 years old. My butt would stay the color it was as long as I did what I was told. Daddy was a Superman with a big old hand for me to hold. Walking home from church at night when the moon was bright and the air was cold. Sometimes I want to talk to God and find out what I don't know. Sometimes I want to talk to God and tell God where God can go. And sometimes I want to kiss my woman, hug her hard, love her slow. Sometimes I want a cigarette, a shot of booze, and a rock and roll show. she'd see me now, and I could see her too. We sat in chairs and talked about everything we always do. It's this little game we play. She knew, I knew. $30 copay later, I'd be leaving just as blue. Some folks go to parties, other folks stay home. Some folks lose $1 million in the time it takes me to find a comb. Some folks you can't trust them any further than you can throw them. Some folks you can grow up with and one day find out you don't know. But we all need something pretty to hang on to at night. Some kind of faith that after dark, morning brings the morning light. The world will do some more turning, stars will come out shining bright. Right now I want a cigarette, maybe then I'll feel alright.